uh, as always, every month I do this 1 month long course to make you a web app developer. See, the people who have attended my Saturday session, they have done just a brief of it. But this 3 weeks of intense training is for CSS intensive is there, then JavaScript intensive is there, then React intensive is there, and this time I'm going to do Node.js on the fourth week, which is generally always cherry on the top of the cake. Okay, so that is all about. And someone was asking. What is about this internship. So if you see the description, there is opportunity to get training come internship thing also. So what is that? So this thing I have told in this Saturday's workshop also. So what is happening means I am giving hi and I'm giving the opportunity to people to get access to my main program, which is 1.5 month long uh, boot camp, which is a weekend boot camp, which in Saturday it is 2 hours and Sunday it is 2 hours, and it's a weekend boot camp. Okay, so I'm giving internship to that, I'm giving free access to that. So people, there are certain criteria which you will complete. So that is all there in that doc. So those criteria are all there in the doc, so you go through it. What is the criteria? So the simply if I tell, the criteria is like that: you attend all these 4 weeks and you get 400 points, and it is a point based system. So there are only 2 seats freely available, and my boot camp cost around 10,000 rupees, which is going to increase because you're going to access it in the March. At that time it is for 15,000 rupees, and 1.5 long complete boot camp, and it comes with a job assistance, a sort of job guarantee, because if you do React, just there's no one who can not give you a job. And that is a Zoom based call, everything Zoom based, online, full mentorship, and everything is there. It is my top program, and it's a paid program. Okay, so it's a paid program, but I'm giving access to two people to get it for free. Okay, so to get it for free, if they do certain things, and there it is all mentioned in the doc, which is there in this attachment. So I think yeah, YouTube people can watch, and if you are from LinkedIn, you can also watch. So this 4 weeks you do, and 4 weeks means you completely, you don't miss even a single day, because every week I give people participation certificate. So CSS 5 day you attend, and at the end of every day I give a different attendance form. But CSS I will give a different attendance form every day. I will give a different attendance form. It is not like one attendance form every day. You will get an attendance form for 5 day you have to fill, and then you will get the CSS participation certificate. Then the next week you get the JavaScript participation certificate. Next week you get the React.js participation certificate, and last week you get the Node.js participation certificate, and you get 400 points. So 400 points like that. And if you attend every web development workshop on the weekend, you get 50 points. Okay, so and the winner will be declared on 1st of Feb, but the next batch of the bootcamp will start from 1st of March. So the winner will be declared at that time, and there are two positions. Beside that, I'm giving 8 of my books also free, means total 10 awards are there. 8 of my books worth each is worth 2,500 rupees. They're premium books. So MAN projects, Firebase project, Gatsby projects, all those books I'm giving. So this is all about. And Happy New Year, Vicky. Okay, so that is all about it. And let me tell at an attendance form will be given at the end. Attendance form will be given at the end. And if you are watching it from LinkedIn, please do come to my YouTube channel. It supports the YouTube channel also, and then it helps me to reach to more people also. So today is CSS beginners to advanced, and totally more than 5 hours of content is there, and we are going to do everything in CSS. On the weekend workshop I do very little CSS, means it is not enough, as I told in that also, that it is very small. So that is not complete thing. So this is complete whatever I'm teaching right now, because this includes CSS, Flexbox and Grid also. So those things are also included, and those things will also be done. So let's get started, because and I've talked enough. So let me share my screen. So I'm sharing my second screen. Yeah, so the screen is been shared, and again I am going to start from the start. An empty folder is there, and I will create a new thing known as CSS basics. Right? And all this code I will give at the end, not today, but maybe at the end. And VS Code. So HTML basics, whatever I teach in that weekend workshop, 3 hours workshop, it is more than enough. I always tell, do HTML from there, do CSS from here. CSS, JavaScript, and React from here, and become a web app developer. So that what I want all of you to become, a web app developer, not a website developer, web app developer. So these 3 weeks are the most important. 4 week is cherry on the top of the cake. And this time I'm teaching React. Just previous time I taught Angular, and before that I taught Redux. So every month 3 weeks are common, 1 week is different. I teach anything and in that way. So in CSS we'll create index.html as always, and I will increase the font size because it is not visible. So so I have increased the font size, not, and this, and I will do CSS basics. Okay, save it, and okay, so that is done. Let me do one h1 CSS crash course, CSS crash course I'm doing, and save it. So here I'm going to tell one thing. This I think I have not told in that workshop also. There are 3 ways to add CSS in a website. 3 ways. So this is a normal HTML thing, and I will open it with VS Code, open it with live server. So let me open it with live server. Don't know where it had opened. Okay, in some other place. Okay, so yeah, let me open Firefox Developer Edition here. And it will open in here. So by default HTML is like this. So it is very bland. It is all black and white. So we'll add color to it. So there are 3 ways to add styles to an HTML element. Means 3 ways to use CSS. One is inline CSS, one is internal CSS, one is external CSS. So what is this inline CSS? So let us first understand the inline CSS. Inline CSS, you'll see that inline CSS is been used a lot if someone is in a hurry and they need to give some styling and quickly, and they don't want to go till the CSS file, then this way is used a lot, inline CSS, and I have seen this used a lot in production, in a lot in projects. Okay, so what we're going to do here, style equal to color. This is how we give CSS. Color is blue. Okay, color is blue. We can give this, save it, and if I come here, color is blue. So we are giving this. So color is this. This color is the property of CSS, and this can be anything. So there are thousands of properties of CSS. And as I always say, you don't have to go beyond what I teach. So don't go beyond what I teach, because what, after teaching so many students, after teaching 200 students personally, and more than I think now it is 1300 people on my YouTube channel, I know that people get stuck with CSS also for a long time. So if you want to be very good in CSS, it is very good. I am also okay in CSS. But if you want to make a career as a web app developer, you have to do only that much CSS which is required to you to create a site which a designer will give you. But you need to be good in CSS because you're a front end developer. But it doesn't mean that you spend the next 1 year learning CSS, and people do that, because you have to quickly move to React.js. Someone was asking me one today only how much time it takes to become a React.js developer. See, I will say clearly, if you are from an IT background, it will take you 3 months. If you are from non-IT background, it will take you 6 months. As simple as that. And your main motive should be to become a React.js developer, not a HTML, CSS, or WordPress developer. Okay. If you want to do that, please go to some other channel. And I am here to make you a web app developer. I don't want you to earn 15,000 a month. I want you to earn 50,000 a month. Okay, so that is like that. So h1 color is blue, and it is showing as blue. This is known as the inline CSS. Then the other way is known as internal CSS. So this is quite equal to the your external CSS, which we are going to see soon. So let me do a p florum as usual black. So this internal CSS, how it is used, This is known as internal CSS. We have to give a style tag. Style tag we have to give, and inside this I'll make a P, and in the P color I will made as maybe brown. Make the color as brown. Save it, and see the color is brown. So this is known as internal CSS. Internal CSS. This is known as inline, and this is known as internal. So we are targeting, and this is the main way in which we will use it in the external CSS also. I'm targeting P tag, and then I'm giving the curly bracket, and this is known as the property, and this is the value, and value can be anything. Means this is how we give the color. There are thousands of property for CSS, and we are going to see the most important one. And whenever in some production you need something, you will see it. Okay, so you'll see that it is there. Okay, so that is there. Now we'll see the main way to use CSS. So this is the way in which most of the time the CSS will be used, and let us see that. And h3, I will give h3 best place to learn CSS. Save it, and now here I'll create a style.css, and style.css I have created. Okay, and here I'll give the style for h3. So h3 I'll give background color. So there is a background color also, and this I will give, and this I will give as aquamarine, and color as red, and a bit of padding. I will teach about padding later on, but right now it is this much padding I'll give. So it is not giving, no style is there, it is still black because we have not linked the style sheet. So how we are going to link the style sheet? We are going to link the style sheet through the link tag, and link I have to give it as CSS. So rel equal to style sheet will be there, and style.css will be there. What is this? I don't know. Save it, and then now this is the aquamarine red color, and a bit of padding in the space around it. Padding is the space around it. Okay, so that is like this. So this is done, and this is how we do. And CSS we style, and we are going to use the external CSS from now on, because this is the most common way to make an external CSS file and use the styles from there. Okay, so that is there. And then we are going to look about on colors in CSS. Okay, colors in CSS we are going to look. One sec. As I've told, attendance will be given at the end, and daily attendance will be there. So it is daily attendance at the somehow at the end will be there. Daily attendance will be there. So you have to attend it completely. Okay, and one attendance only will be there because there's a 1 hour thing. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the colors in CSS. So there are three ways to represent, actually four ways to represent colors in CSS. One is the color name, which we are seeing like this aquamarine and all these things. So this is one way to show the color in CSS. Then there are two other ways. One is hexadecimal, one is RGB, and one is HSL. Okay, so we are going to see all of them. And for that, let me open a site. So the first site is this color names, and the color names. So there there are 140 color names in CSS. So total 140. Okay, so as I've told earlier also, after HTML5, which was released in 2015, the color names were increased. There were only 30-40 color names, and right now there are very good color names like this Firebreak, and I use a lot of them color names. Color name is something which you remember, and the VS Code also gives suggestion: dark khaki, medium purple, indigo, lime green, all these things, all these good colors are there. Medium turquoise or something like that, so all these color names are there. But and we've used it also here also. You use it at a lot of places, but this is not the only way to give color, because 140 is very less. We have millions of colors, we can have millions of colors, and 140 is very less. So what we do, so we use color picker. So see, color picker or something, if I move my mouse over here, so this is also what has been shown. This is known as a color picker. This whole thing is known as color picker, and I can choose the color from here. But there are very good color pickers also available. You can just search color picker and you'll get it, the color picker. And so I'll come here, and I'll give the color picker. Okay, so this is how the color picker is. So this is the color picker, and it gives us three values, means RGB, HSL, and hexa. So these three things are there, and we understand about them. We'll understand about the most common way and most oldest way also, which is known as hexadecimal system. So this is how we give color, and through this we have more than millions of color, and from this color picker we can choose this. We cannot remember the names of all of them. It is impossible. And what is this hexa? Let us understand a brief about it. Hexa is hexadecimal is a special type of system. In seventh or eighth in India, we must have learned about it. Like there is a binary system which has base 2. There is a decimal system which we follow, which is of base 10, 0 to 9, base 10. And there is a hexadecimal actually, which is of base 16, which is 0 to 9 is there, and A to F is there. So that is hexadecimal. So it is even superior in decimal system, because we can store more values in a computer using that. So that's why they choose the hexadecimal system, in which we can have more things. And we give it the hash and six different digit we give. So it is like this. It comes in spare, because the human eyes can see only a combination of red, green, and blue. So this is like this. So first two is red, the next two are green, and the last two are blue. So red, green, and blue. So these two are red, so green and blue. So this is like this. But that is all theoretical part. Main thing is that you have to choose it from here. So what I will going to do, I am going to have a body, and a body I am going to have a background color. Background color is, so I'll choose it from here. I'll take some maybe some green type of, light type of green. Background I want something very light, so light type of green I have taken. And this is the hexa. Come here, hexa given, save it. Mm. Come, and the background is green. So this is how the hexa is there. So beside this hexa, and from now onwards, we are, let me do one thing. I'm going to comment this out, because we are going to use the external only, but I'm keeping it for your reference. So I will comment this out. And what I'm going to do, I am going to comment this out also. And this h1 I will take. It's like CSS crash course, like this. Okay, so CSS crash course. And p also color I have removed everything. So everything I have removed from here. So because I we have to see about two other ways to give color. So one other way is known as RGB. As you can see, RGB stands for red, green, and blue. As I have told, that human eye can see red, green, and blue only. So it is about red, green, and blue. Okay, so here, and its value is from all of them can be 255. All of them can be 0. Its value is like this: 0 to 255 for each of them. 2 is, if you can see, everything is 0. It is black. Keep tell keyboard shortcuts when using shortcuts. What does that mean? Not using much shortcuts. Okay, so that is there. And okay, so yeah, so RGB, we can choose from anything. Okay, RGB we can choose from anything like this. And what is there? Okay, so I'm going to give the H3 with RGB. So anything is something dark I have to give. So let me give some blue kind of color. So I'll give a dark blue of RGB. And so see, all of this thing changes. Okay, so I'll come here and I will give the P as color as this RGB. Save it, go it, and see the color is a bit of blue. Okay, and then The last thing which we are going to do is it is the HSL value. So HSL stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. HSL stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. Saturation is like what we have a TV, the saturation we can set, and lightness is like the lightness we can increase. So see that these two values are in percentage, and HSL is actually one of the most superior of them, and it's the most complicated also them, because the first one consists of the color, and it's take it from a cylindrical thing. It's a 3D cylindrical object, and which is difficult to tell, but it is there, means so the first, anyways, you don't have to understand much about it, anything you can choose it from here. So we are going to give the h1 with it. Okay, so h1 color, I will take again something darker, maybe this, but a darker one. So this is how I have taken, and save it, and see, it is the, so all three we have seen, all four we have seen. So then we are going to see, increase this, we're going to see fonts in CSS. So just like in a doc, we have fonts in CSS also. So let me go that, and font family is how we give the font, and we don't give just one font, we give around three fonts or maybe more than that. So I have given Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif. So why I have given this Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif? So first is the main font, and the second is known as a fallback font. Okay, fallback font, and this is also fallback font. So first is the main font. So why we have taken the other two things? Because CSS is been governed by W3C community, and all the browsers are been governed by different companies which created, like the Chrome by Google, Firefox by Mozilla, Edge by Microsoft, Safari by Apple. So it might be there that this font is not available in one of them. Maybe in Safari it is not available. So what it will do, it will try to find the second font if it is not available, and if the second is not available, it will try to find the third one. Third is not available, it will take the system default font. So this is how it is work. Although all of these fonts are very common, and it is there in all the browsers. So if I say in it, I'll not see much changes here. Okay, so this is what it is all about. But as always, I will all see the saw the and see you all, and make you see the best font, which is my favorite, which is the Google fonts. So Google fonts, we'll see. So this is the external font, Google font. They are very popular with the developer, with the designer. We all love it, and let me remove it, and we can see, choose from this good looking fonts which are not available in the browser, and I'll tell how to choose from them. Okay, so this time I'll choose this one. This one is also looking good, so I'll choose this one, and I have to see this, select this style, then I have to come here, and it has been selected. I'll go to this import, and I will copy this, and I will do this like this, import. Okay, then that is, and see, this is the font name. So I don't want to use this font in the whole body, I just want to use it in the p tag. So I can do this, so it will override it. Font family is not serif, and Google fonts you have to always give in quotes, even though, see, this one you need in quotes because this is have some space. Even if it don't have a space, you have to use this in quotes, so that is a mandatory thing. So I'll do this, and then I'll do a comma, and here it is very important to give the fallback fonts. Why? First thing, it is coming from the internet. Suppose in India it happens quite a lot. If you're going from a train or all, suddenly a tunnel comes. Okay, suddenly a tunnel comes and the internet goes away. And even in the trains, the internet is not always. So what will happen? Someone is browsing your site on the mobile, which is the most common case in India right now. The internet penetration is only because of mobile and Geo. So suddenly this font will not be loaded. So if that is not loaded, this Helvetica will be loaded. Or if suppose this is a very experimental type of font, which is, it is not the case because it's Google, but sometimes it can happen, and someone is not supporting, suppose Safari and Internet Explorer or Edge are always a problematic browser. Internet Explorer was problematic, that's a Microsoft data edit also. So they are not supporting, then it will go to the fallback. So in Google Fonts, always take the fallback font. So I will save it, and so I will say, okay, Vicky is asking what's keyboard shortcut while using the shortcut. Okay, I'll tell. Okay, okay. So if I go back now, see, it is on cursive. It is all cursive. So this is very good looking, but again, it is very small. I'm not able to see. So how to increase the font size? So I will increase the font size to 20 px, and then font weight to, so font weight is like normal. By default, it is normal. I'll make it a bold. So there are 7, 8 fonts weight like bold, bolder, and all those things. So I'll make it bold. And let's see. Now it is looking much more. It is bold also, and the font is increased also to 20 pixels. So 20 pixels is what I'm going to increase. I'm going to tell it soon. So what is 20 pixels? First, let me give another thing. Like line height is 1.6 em. 1.6 em. So what is this 1.6 em? 1.6 em. I'm going to tell the major ways to give. So 1.6 em I'm given. So there is the line height has been done. So line height has been increased here. So now coming to unit of measurements. So there are 3 units of measurement in CSS. Mainly one is px, one is em, and one is rem. And we will understand it with an example. So most common is the, of course, most common is the pixel. Okay, so I will wrap uh, all this thing with a div, so that all of them will become its children. So Vicky was asking the shortcut. I will design. See, there is a shortcut through which I can move it to the top, move anything to anywhere without actually cutting it. And also I want to move it between this. So there is a shortcut. I have selected all, and then I will press on alt and up arrow key, and it will move. So up arrow key I have pressed, and it will move. Okay, how to link HTML? I have linked it through this HTML, this style sheet href style.css. So this is how you link HTML to CSS. Okay, and I have told all the other 2 ways also, and to use CSS inline, internal, and external. Okay, so go through this video again, you'll understand it. Okay, and we have to cover Flexbox and Grid, a lot to cover actually. I will go a bit fast, not that fast, but I have to go a bit faster, because we have to go a bit faster. I go a little more slow in my boot camp, but that's a bit longer, and we have to cover a lot in 3 weeks. Okay, okay, so that is there. And what I was doing, yeah, so this I've done. Okay, what I was telling, yeah, unit of measurement I was telling. So I have wrapped this in a div, all this is, so this all have become a children. So now what is this pixel? So first let me come to the pixel. So what is a pixel actually? So pixel is nothing but you all have heard this thing like a TV is there. The more pixel it has, it the better it is high HD, true HD, some SD, blah blah 10080p or something. So what is that pixel? So if you must have heard that a pixel is something like in each inch how many dots. The picture is represented by dot, so those dots are the small dots. So how many dots you can pack in 1 inch, 1 square inch like this, it will create one pixel. It will be considered as the density. So this density is actually not measured in the W3C is the committee behind CSS and HTML. So they use something as a reference which is got 3000 dpi, density per inches, to measure the pixel. But in layman term, you can think that pixel, you increase the pixel, the size will increase, as simple as that. Then you increase the pixel size will increase. Okay, so that is there. But what is em is we tell it as m. So em is something which belong to the parent. So for this p and all this thing, the parent is this div. So what I am going to do I'm going to come here and I'm going to give this div a font size of 10 pixel. 10 pixel I'm going to give, and this I'm going to give a font size of 2em, and 2em, save. Now it is again 20 pixels, so it is like this. Em depends upon the parent, so parent is 10 pixel, 1 em is 10 pixel, then 1 em is 10 pixel, 2 em is 20 pixel, 3 em is 30 pixel. So 3 em if I do, it is 30 pixel, it will become much more bigger. 3em is 30 pixel. And there is something known as rem also, and with this div I have given, see this have become small, so that is a problem. We're going to fix it, and that is a different thing. But there is something known as rem also. So if I give it, see, maybe I can make it again 2em like this, and I will make it 2 rem. So now it has again become big. So why? Because rem doesn't belongs to the parent. Rem means in reference to the root or in reference to the body, and the by default the body, the font size is 16px. By default the body, the font size is what? 16px. So 16px into 2 is 32px. So that's why 2 rem is equal to 32px. It doesn't depend upon the parent, it depends upon sort of the main parent. Okay, so this is about em and rem, and let me make it as 1.2. 1.2 is okay. 1.4 is okay. Okay, so this is okay. So we are done with the unit of measurements. Now, as I've told, see, giving this div, it's causing a lot of problem because 10 pixel I'm giving it here. So h1 and h3 have also become very small. So anyways, I'm going to comment it out, and this is how we comment it. I choose it all, and control and backslash I'll give, and it is commenting out. How to create pseudo classes, I will come to that pseudo classes later on. So we are going in order, and we are going to cover everything. Okay, so everything means most of the things. Okay, so classes are there. So okay, so classes are there. Why class? As you can see, the issue which came here, if you give this div and all, a lot of issues comes. And in bigger projects you are not even allowed to do this. In suppose a 10 front-end engineer working on the same project, and everybody gives a style for a body or h1, and it breaks those projects, and I have seen that a lot. So we generally use something known as classes or an IDs. So classes and IDs are used to uniquely identify any element in CSS and in HTML. Actually, in this is HTML only, so we have to identify that, and then we can use it in the CSS. So this div, instead of calling it just a div and breaking everything, I will call it a, I'll give a attribute known as class, just class, it's a keyword, and equal to anything. I will give it container maybe, but I can take the name as anything. Then I have to choose it. So I have to choose it like dot, with dot. Classes are always a dot. So classes and IDs have a little bit of difference. I'm going to tell about the little bit of difference now. So background color is like light blue, maybe light blue, and see, it is made as light blue. So all this box is made because this box is containing everything. So box has been made light blue. Let me give a bit of padding also, it will look much better if I give a padding also in pixel also I can give. So padding of 10 pixel I'll give, and percentage also I can give. So it is looking much better. This blue is looking much better. So what are the classes? Classes are something which you can use multiple times. Means the same class you can use multiple. Suppose I have another div like this, and I don't have h3 here, and this p is also a bit less. P is also a bit less, and CSS hello web devs. So it is like this. Okay, so see, again it will be same. So same style and all are there. So this is looking like same. I will add a br here, save it, and see, now both of them are same. So we can use the same style again and again when we use this, when we use the classes, same as, and it is generally used for this. But suppose I want to have something unique, so that time I use IDs, and suppose this both of them are p, and I want to give some style to the second p. So I'll give id equal to second p I'll give, save it, and the second p, come here, and second p I can give the style, but IDs have to give with hash, not with dot. So this hash I will give, and then I will give, actually I will, let me choose this thing, I will give update it so that it's a bit different than this, and I will make everything a bit different. The first thing is that I don't want a cursive writing, I want a normal one, so I will give it a Arial I will give, and maybe I uh, want only one RAM, and this two, and this two normal I'll do, normal I will do, and this I don't want it green, so I can choose I can choose directly from here also, as I am telling. So maybe somewhat like red, but I have to give a bit of darker red. Save. This one is totally different, this p and this p, again a normal thing. Okay, so this is how it is done, and now we are going to understand about box model. So box model is very important, and it's a very important interview question also. So we are going to understand about that box model. So for that I'll come here and uh, div and lorem I'll do, and id equal to anything I can give. I am giving box model, I'm giving box model, save it, and again I have to give a hash box model, I'll give, and then background color is light 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 green. I'll take background color is light green. I'll take a width of maybe 300 pixel. I'll take, and width is, by width we can give width, and then I will take border. A border is also there, 15 px solid green. I will take 15 px solid green, and then there is something known as padding, which we are going to see soon. Padding I will take a 50 px, and I'm okay. So let me not give padding now. If I give this much, see, thing is green background, and the this border is made border 15 px all the way around. So if I give the padding here, padding of maybe 50 px, you see there will be a bit of a space around it. So padding mainly means that a space around the element, and then I will give a margin of 20 px. So margin of 20 px I've given. Margin 20 px is actually this, from here also 20 px, here 20 px, here 20 px also is there, but there is no element, so I'm not able to say, and down also 20 px. It also means all the way around 20 px. And if I see the it as a box model, if I right click it, inspect it, and if I go down, so this is the box model. So the first thing is the content is there, and padding of 50 px all the way around, so it comes in this order only: content, padding of 50 px all the way around, border of 15 px after that, and then the margin of 20 px after that. So this is how all of this work. Okay, box model. So padding and margin, there are some other shortcuts also to give padding and margin, and so we are going to give those shortcuts. So it applies to both padding and margin. So padding 20 px I've given, it means all way around. Okay, so there are some other ways also to give this. So first thing is that I'll come here, and margin top is maybe 5 px. So I can give it individually also. Margin top is 5 px, margin right is 10 px, margin bottom is 5 px, and margin left is 10 px. So it means again the margin of 5 px top 10px is here, right, bottom, and then so I can give it individually. So it is another way to give it. Okay, and then there are some other way also. To instead of representing it like this, I can give it in another short form, which is like I will give that right the margin, and you'll see all of this way being used a lot. Okay, 5px, 10px, 5px, 10px. So what is this? So this means this moves in a clockwise direction. 5px is top, right, bottom, left, top, right, bottom, left. So this is how it is: top, right, bottom, left. And there is even a shortcut for this. See, if the top and bottom are same and right and left are same, we can give even a more shortcut, and that is like margin of 5px, 10px, margin of 5px and 10px. So this means same only. Top, bottom is 5px and right and left is 10px. Save it, and if I come, inspect, and it is like this. It is like this. Okay, so it is like this. So that is like this, and with this we complete this box model thing. Okay, so now we are going to do some more font properties, and I am going to give it in the h3. So h3 I am going to give, and where is the h3? So h3 is here, and there is one more thing. I can give some styles like this, with two things like this dot contain, although doesn't matter much here, dot container and then the ht. So it means that inside the container only, so there can be many other classes with some other names also, but I want only inside the dot container the h3. So definitely it will choose this one only. If there would have been some other thing also, it would have chosen like that. So in that h3 I'm going to do. So padding and all is there. Font weight we have seen. We'll see font style. Font style is italics. Font style is italic. Font style is italic. I'll give. So it will become italic. So I'm targeting this. It will become italic. So then I will give text decoration is by default it is none. I will give it underline. Give it underline. Okay. Then so this underline is done. Then text transform is uppercase. Text transform is uppercase, so everything will be uppercase. So that is done. Then I will do letter spacing is, so here I will give 0.2 m. 0.2 m I will give. Save it. And so the letter spacing will be created. Letter spacing will be created, and then there is something known as word spacing. Word spacing also we can give, and this I will make 0.8 m, and the word spacing between the word will also be created. Okay, so this is done. This is a small thing. Now we are going to learn to style a list. We are going to learn how to style a list. So let us do that, and I will give the attendance form in the next 5 10 minutes, and we will go after then another maybe 10 minutes. Okay, so let me give that form after another 5 10 minutes. Okay, so we are going to style the list here. How to again, we have created some list in our html earlier on the Saturday, so we will now go it. Okay, there is another shortcut which I want to tell. Div dot container, if I take, no, div dot not container, I'll do categories, and if I press the tab, it will create like this: div dot class categories. Okay, so and then h2 I'll do, and categories I'll do, and then I'll do a unordered list. Okay, unordered list I'll do, and here I'll have a li, and we, this is a very common thing which we do. A I will do a, and a anchor tag, it will go nowhere, so I will give hash. So this thing also you can do. Category 1 I'll have 1 2 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to have this category. Save it. And if I go here, see, it is showing like this without any style. It is showing like this. And now we are going to style it a lot. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'll come here and select this dot categories and border 1px solid, maybe gcc, and this is very light actually, so I will change it from here itself and make it a bit darker. Maybe this one is good. Okay, so a border I am giving, and then padding of npx and give, and border radius of 15 px and give, save it. Okay, so see, it is looking like this. A nice box is been made. And what is this border radius? So this padding nice spacing. The border radius is that, see, this sharp edges which you are seeing, they are gone. They are gone. So this is how we make a border radius. And if you give it 50%, a circle is been made. Okay, so this is border radius. And then what we are going to do, dot categories h2, and text align is not left, text align is center, save it. So this h2 is now at the center, h2 is now at the center. And then dot categories unordered list is like, so I'm giving this unordered list. So unordered list is, we have unordered list, and I don't want any padding here. So padding I will make it as 0. Padding I will make it as 0. So it has all shifted here, and it is not looking good because padding I made 0, so all have shifted here. So now I don't want those stars. So for that, what I can do, I can do list style is none. List style is none. So those stars are gone. Okay, so now I don't even want this to be shown as an anchor tag. So for that, what I have to do, dot categories a, I'll do, and text decoration is none and color is black. So text decoration is none and color is black. So see, text decoration is none, but I still anchor tag have this by default, this hand thing comes, so it will come like this, and it is looking quite good. Now I will change the hover property, dot categories and a hover. So who was asking? Yeah, Ananta was asking about the pseudo classes. This is one of the pseudo classes. Color is red because we gave it like this. So hover is known as one of the pseudo classes because we gave it like this after a, this and this thing. So this is only known as pseudo classes. So I will save it, and then see, now I will move the anchor tag is, because of this hovering, this is changing as red. Okay, so this is doing as red. Now I'll make the final thing, and which is dot categories I'll do, and li, I'll target the li. What is the li? Li is this. Li I'm targeting, and here padding bottom I will make as 6px, and so there will be some padding bottom which was not there, and then border bottom as 1px dotted. So instead of solid, we can take dotted also, and I'm not taking the whole border. I'm only taking the border bottom one, px dotted hash 333. And one more thing, if I give only 3 times something, it means that next 3 times is also 333. It means that it is 6 times. So this is also again a shortcut for hexadecimal. Okay, I'll do this. See, a light border dotted is clear, and see, this is how the list we have created it so beautiful. Okay, this is how we have done it. One sec, let me give the attendance, take the attendance. Okay, In the Google form I'll give. I forgot to take it. Okay, Google form. So yeah, mark your attendance here. All of you mark your attendance here. Okay. I pinned that message also. So mark your attendance here. So those who are watching it from other platform, LinkedIn and all the other, please do come here to YouTube, because this is not going to LinkedIn and Facebook and what else I stream on LinkedIn and Facebook only. So please do come to my YouTube channel and fill the attendance form if you're done. Instead of using rectangular box, how can we use circular? Okay, so let me delete this rectangular box. Very easy. Where am I? Where did I give that? Border radius, instead of 15 px, it will give me this rectangular box with that, with sharp edges gone. So I will do it 50%. It will not look good because it will make this, see, like this it will make. So this is how it is looking. It will not look good. It will, circle we generally make it like this only, but you can see in the internet also the width and height I have to make same, then only it will be a perfect circle. Now I don't know what this is called, rhombus or something it is. So the perfect circle is been made by, you give something as a width and a height as same, something width and height same, maybe 300 px, 300 px, and then make it like, okay. This is a very good question. So maybe I will make a circle, div dot circle, and I, let me only have a circle text here. Dot circle and width. That you try. I cannot give everything. Okay, why it is not? Okay, okay, okay. I have not even given a border. Border. So, yeah, teaching 1 px solid black. This is becoming geometric. And so this is how again I will not take this also. So see, the circle has been created. Now this is not a geometry class, so BR I'll take, and circle. Square is, but it is so simple. It is like a width and height, you give same thing. It will be a square. So if I remove this thing, it is a square now. It's a square now. Just it's a square. I just remove the border radius, it become a square. Okay, so this is all about it. Okay. Now next thing is a styling form, but we don't have time for that styling form. So yeah, so we are going to end here. And what's about this curriculum which I'm going to cover in CSS is like, tomorrow also we are going to cover CSS. And let me tell a bit about what we are going to cover tomorrow. We are going to cover tomorrow, first we are going to cover the styling lists we are going to cover. Then so now I don't have to so much. So we are going to cover the styling list first, styling forms. We are going to style a form in a very good way. Then we are going to do something known as alignment and floating, which is very important thing. And alignment and floating is they were from the starting of CSS. Float left, float right, and they are a layout format. They are the oldest layout format, and they are not nowadays they are not used that much. And because of that, CSS has become very complicated in the early part of this, means when it was released. Float and alignment, float left, float right, and it has got a lot of bugs also. So we should not use it now, float left and float left. But in some of the older codes, you are going to see it, and some old designers and a developer use this floats a lot. So that's why we are going to learn it, and it's very easy concept, but it has also got some bugs. So this float left and float right, it is a layout techniques. So the website which you see, there are certain layout techniques are there. And float left, float right, even we have something which is not CSS, which is a bootstrap. People love bootstrap a lot, because people think CSS is a very bit difficult. So especially the developers find it a bit difficult. So they use something like bootstrap, and bootstrap is not CSS. You just have to name some names in some tables, and it is done. Okay, so that is that positioning we are going to cover after that. CSS positioning, it is CSS alignment and floating. And then after that, we are going to cover something known as CSS positioning. So there is certain positioning like static, relative, absolute, fixed, and that is used today also, because that is very powerful concept, and through it you can move an element anywhere in the web page, anywhere you can move. So that's why the positioning is very important, especially the position relative and position absolute. So that is there which we are going to do. And then the thing is that we are going to do background images. And how to do background images, I'm going to do. And a very good question have been asked: is SAS as important as CSS? No, SAS is a thing through which CSS is when we give the CSS. SAS is not. SAS is a way to implement CSS. See what happened in CSS earlier, and it is a very bad technique. Nowadays nobody uses it. And I especially hate it, because it what happens that I had shown something like dot categories, and then dot something and all that thing. In SAS, what happens, you have to add some external library and all. In React and also we can do. So you can nest those things. So I can nest something another. It is CSS only, but you can nest something inside some other CSS, like dot categories if I have done, and I can do it. So SAS is something like that. You can understand it. Okay. Can you share me the content which you are going to see? Where can I share the content? If you are in some of my WhatsApp group, then ping me, then I can share. Okay. For the next 4 days, what I'm going to cover, then I can share it. Because after that, we are going to do 1 day Flexbox and 2 days CSS Grid also. CSS Grid and Flexbox are the most important things. So only told for tomorrow what we are going to do. After that, CSS Grid and Flexbox will also, that is the most modern JavaScript, and that is the most important thing. Okay. And SAS, don't go for SAS. Even the CSS variables can now be done with that. Okay. So if you are in one of my group, you can ping me, or I have told what is the syllabus. And after this, tomorrow also CSS basics will be done, and I told what will be done. After that, 1 day I will teach CSS Flexbox. You can search anywhere. CSS Flexbox is one of the most important thing. And layout technology, and it is quite new. It is 2015 it was done, and it has been used everywhere. So if you want to get a job today, you have to do CSS Flexbox or CSS Grid, or both. I will teach both of them, and both of them you can use mix and match also, CSS Grid or CSS Flexbox. And then I will tell you what to do next, how to practice. This is all the thing which is theoretical, and you have to CS is something which you have to practice a lot. So what you have to practice, from where you have to practice, maybe I'll give you all a list from my channel which you can practice and create some good looking websites and all, so that you can add them to your portfolio and all. Okay. So with this, hope everyone have filled the attendance sheet. So if you're not filled the attendance sheet, come back to this video again and fill it, because then only you will be able to see it. Okay. So you'll able to get the participation certificate. I will give a cool participation certificate on maybe on Saturday. I will send to all of them, because uh, I'm sending those participation certificate for these things also. And as always, if you attend this whole week, you will get 100 points also, which will add it towards your tally to get into my main bootcamp. Okay, with this I will end today's stream. Thank you all, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.